Welcome to another race reaction stream. Let me see. Oh, I should probably crop out my background a little bit more so I don't see my messy studio. Okay, so this race a little bit different in the footage today. I got the Insta360 action camera. Is this the start? Yeah, this is it. 3-4 men are off. Okay, so this is completely different than how I normally shoot the footage. It's using a 365-degree camera, so that's me racing here. About this race, so there was in this race about like half an hour in, there was a really nasty pileup. I made a YouTube short for one that I used for exactly the crash. You know, I created like a drive-by view using the app. But basically, using the app, you can like set where you want the 360-degree camera footage to go to. But for now, for the live stream, I can just point it where I want to go. You know, I can zoom in and out with my mouse wheel, and that works. I think this is fine. So my the first lap was neutral, and unfortunately I started the race at the back. So this is the motorcycle guy. He was honking a lot because this double yellow line, this is Central Park, this double yellow line, you're not allowed to cross it with your bike. Reason being is that this lane is used for pedestrian traffic in two ways. So those people shouldn't be there. It's used for pedestrian traffic in two ways. And by riding on the other side, you put those people at danger. And there's been a number of incidents, and they pretty much have a zero tolerance policy in the park now, and this is why they have, you know, someone literally in the motorcycle, you know, telling you as soon as you get close to it. But yeah, you go over it. I mean, of course, the people that we just passed, they weren't in the race, so it's not like we can't do anything about it. But if you're racing, you're just not allowed over that line. So that's what he's doing there. And since I'm in the back, I'm like hearing the honks, and it's like honking is like my least favorite noise. This is honking in general, just kind of really ticks me off. You know, I know drivers like to honk cyclists all the time. Yeah, we're slow. Like even me, I'm in this race, I'm averaging 26 miles an hour in this race. On the road, you know, I'll often be riding 20. It's too slow. I mean, it's too slow for drivers. You know, they're going 40 miles per hour in a 25-mile-an-hour zone. You know, that's what they do. You're slower than that, they will honk you. Great. Thanks. You're not only breaking the law, but you're harassing me about me not breaking the law with you. Thanks. So that's what they do. Fun. I'm not a driver. I have a license, but I'm not a driver. But if I had a driver's license, I would lay off the horn because I know how... It sounds like a gunshot in your ear, pretty much. It's really loud. You know, and I don't wear headphones to block the noise. It's just like boom. Boom, 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 boom. It's like, okay. You know, the noise is designed so other vehicles can hear you. So when you honk, people that have unprotected hearing, like not surrounded by a car, it really is loud. So the only thing about this 360 camera is like, okay, I want to look forward now. It will, so this is a left turn. It will, if I don't hold the cursor down, it'll start looking, it just keeps the direction. So I kind of have to adjust the view as it goes down. This first lap is a neutralized lap. And the neutralization stops right after this right here. So I am still pretty much at the back here. This is the last bit of the neutralization, and now I'm just hoping that there's no big gap here, because that would have been the end of the race for me. That's the only thing that sucks about Central Park right now, is this construction right here. It narrows the road so much that in a big race like this, it causes it to stretch out for that section in every lap. So it does require, this is a rolling circuit race. Yeah, a lot of people ejecting bottles because there's a lot of road lips and furniture here. And I've had it happen to me too, yeah. I have had it happen to me. It sucks. Especially if you just have one water bottle, because going to be dehydrated, which I am a little dehydrated, so I have my water. This race is an hour and 22 minutes. I'm going to try to sit through it. It's in so this camera is different in the sense I'm used to recording with a GoPro, so it's just a fixed focal point. Oh, this guy said nice bike right here. I was like, thanks. Yeah, this is a S-Works Tarmac SL7 that I got. And I don't feel bad about racing on it because I have bike insurance. I use this company called Velosurance. I've had them for a number of years. I've had accidents with the bike insurance. And actually, the last bike, the one I had before this, I had a pink bike before this, a Specialized Alas, a 2018 model with the rim brakes. Whoops. Yeah, that's a motion sick view. I was riding in the back of the race like I do, and someone crashed into the back of me, and they hooked their handlebars into my rear wheel, broke a couple spokes of mine. I didn't go down, but the broke some spokes, and but the worst part was like after I took it to the shop to get inspected, there was like some cracks in the paint on the bottom here of the bike, and they said that this triangle here, this back triangle here of the old bike was cracked. So I opened up a claim with Velosurance, and when the insurance adjuster called me about the details, I told them that Specialized only sells Allay Sprints with disc brakes now. I have this insured bike is a rim brake Allay, and like I have to, like, in order to buy a new Allay, I have to buy all new wheels. I have to buy a new group set because the frame set is disc only. It's not compatible. So the insurance adjuster actually wrote it off as a total loss, which I was really grateful for, because I had a $4,000 policy on that bike, and I actually used that. I used that to get a better bike, and now I have the S-Works SL7. And of course, it cost me more. It cost me a lot more, but I was confident in having the best equipment now after having a really good experience with Velosurance. Now, I I had another problem a time I opened up a claim with Velosurance, and it wasn't so great of a experience, but it wasn't because of Velosurance. It was because I had a Canyon Air Road bike. So what happened was I was on a training ride with a team I just joined, and they slammed the brakes, and I collided with them, and I fell down, scraped my knee, and cracked my Canyon Air Road CFSLX frame set. I contacted Canyon. They said I could get a new frame set for $1,700, but they didn't have it in stock. So I got a check from the insurance company for $1,700. I wish I went with another bike at that point, because I waited for a few months to get a replacement frame set. When they finally sent me one, it was like I didn't even notice until I brought it to the bike shop and got it back. So, because the old bike, the Canyon had disc brakes, it had Ultegra Di2 11 speeds, and I brought it to the shop. They didn't even tell me this. I didn't even notice. I gave them the frame in the box, and unfortunately, the frame was this is Claudio Martinez from YouTube, right here next to me. He unfortunately was involved in the crash. Anyway, they gave me the wrong frame set. Canyon makes frame sets for electronic and mechanical group sets. So they gave me the mechanical version, and the bike shop had already put it together. They did something with foam into the and duct tape inside the seat post. It was awful to ride with. I contacted Canyon, about the situation, and they said, "We're so sorry, but you have to pay for it to get. You have to send it back. You have to take it apart and send it back." And I was like I spent $350 for a bike build. I was so pissed off at that point. So I rode with it for a while, and eventually I just, I saw the 2022 LA Sprint come in stock, and I replaced my Canyon Air Road frame set with a LA Sprint. I downgraded from carbon, high-end carbon to high-end aluminum, which is fine. But I wish I did something like that in the first place, instead of, use the insurance money for going with another brand. I had no idea would have that kind of experience, that they would just give me the wrong frame set. But in general, when I rode the Canyon, I also did not like how it rode. It had this kind of speed wobble whenever you go over 25 miles an hour. The bike would just have this kind of undulating motion to it, and the same parts on the LA did not do that. So it wasn't the wheels, it was the frame set. It was definitely the frame set. It happened with before it crashed, and also with that other frame set. So it's just a defect in the design, that you just have this bike that is going to rock and just move, and it felt so bad to ride on, and I'm I'm never going to get a Canyon again. Not only did I have a horrible customer, and it wasn't the only problem I had with the bike. The saddle would slip a lot. They sent me two saddle posts, and then the third one slipped, and they just stopped responding to the messages, and I'm like, okay. And I kept emailing them again and again and again, and opening up a new ticket, and they just stopped responding to it. It's like, okay, thanks, and this is it was like a $6,000 bike, and they're like, it's just like a horrible design, horrible brand, and you know, I thought, I thought I was getting a real deal, and I like now I just put together. Now I always build up bikes with the frame set. I can and I wouldn't buy a frame set from Canyon for that reason, for the bad experience I had with their customer support team with multiple incidents. But yeah, I definitely recommend frame set. It does cost like $350 to pay someone to put together. It does take like 4 hours. It takes around 4 hours to put a bike together. It's something you could do on your own. But I just there's some confidence in paying somebody, and if something doesn't work, after you ride it out of the shop, you can bring it back and they'll fix it for free. A lot of shops are like that, and so that's why I usually just pay for it. And also, I don't know how to I don't know how to service hydraulic disc brakes at all. I don't know how to bleed them or anything like that. I could fix my rim brakes. I knew how to make it adjust it so it would be tenser. You just unscrew it and pull the cable tighter and then screw it back on, and that fixed the brakes. Yeah, I didn't know. It's not so straightforward. I have the right oil and everything and all the tools and everything to perform a bleed, but the whole process seems really complicated. And I just it's something that your bike is pretty much not safe to ride on. You basically have a track bike, no brakes. You're not even able to stop by backpedaling if you screw up your brakes. So I want to be able to ride the bike to the bike shop. My nearest bike shop is 2 miles away, so I have to get on the subway or take a really long walk with the bike with no brakes if I do it wrong. So not ideal. I just let them do it every time. I noted in this race that the left brake was fine. The right brake I had to squeeze. It lost a lot of. It seemed to be missing fluid. I don't know if I squeezed the bike it too much on the thing, but I had to squeeze it pretty far to get it to grab the disc. Yeah, it was just very it wasn't confidence inspiring. But I, of course, the whole time when I was racing, I was like looking at my position relative to the back. This was until the bike crashed. This was a very, very large field. I looked on the bike reg, and they had 94 registrations. So it was 6 people short of being a full field. So 6 people could have showed up before the sun came up and paid cash to be in this race, if they didn't want to pre-register. So yeah, I'm very much at the back of this race this whole time. I'm also not confident in riding this, but it's fine. And part of it is because this is the 3-4 field. I'm a Cat 3. I feel a little bit more confident here riding in the 1-2-3s, but the confidence is misplaced because higher category races aren't actually any safer than lower category ones. The difference in the higher categories is that if a crash happens, it's more violent because you're going at a faster speed. That's really what it is. It's so you're not any more likely, and you know, my whole incident with the yeah, I saw these guys were dropping off, so I was trying to get up here, and I did. And this one's a problem for me. But anyway, they it's more violent, those crashes. Sitting on the back like I'm doing is not that safe at all. You know, you could have a pileup happen just right in front of you, and you have no exits. And also, you could have someone just collide in your back wheel, like what happened with my bike last year. And it's like I couldn't do nothing about it. It was like they just what I suspect happened. I didn't have a camera on it. You know, I'm gonna try to record like this for all the races, so I can. Oh man, this view is. Oh my god, that's a. Yeah, if you do like this kind of view, do something like that, that gives me a headache, or it causes a pain in my head to do that. But yeah, I basically have control over here. But I noticed, yeah, a lot of guys were letting this gap open up, and yeah, this was pretty much my race, the whole race. Because I started on the back line, I was unable to move up earlier. The whole time I was bridging past these gaps that happened, and that cost me you know, a lot of energy, and it just meant, you know, in the final lap, when you know you need to be putting yourself in a winning position, I was just like, I'm putting myself in the position where there's I'm finishing the race. That's the like this is all I care. This was all in my head. Pack finish. I got the pack finish, but pack finish. I also said to myself, I'm Cat 3. You know, that means I'm not. Another goal to have is to see stars. So I should be, if I haven't worked hard, I haven't put in a hard effort to see stars, then it's also a problem. I really wanted to just move up here, but there was really nowhere to move up. Like anytime there would be a side here, you know, it would just get plugged up right away. So there's no real moving up here. That's the end of that file. Number 5. So I kind of just had to sit here in this position and just relax, because it's a long race. It's like, yes, it was 6 laps around Central Park, so a little over 36.6 miles, because each lap is 6.1 miles, so 36.6 miles. As for my stats, what was it? I averaged like 208 watts, and it was, my Garmin said, it gave me anaerobic, it said anaerobic focus on there, so I got 312 anaerobic points for filling in the various bar. If you have like a Garmin, if you have a relatively new Garmin Edge, you know, 830, 840, I also use a Forerunner. I use those to help me, you know, track my fitness over time, and yeah, it works all right. Yeah, sky looks really nice. So when I was rolling into this race, it was completely dark out, and now it's light. in the race. And I'm quite hot. It's surprisingly warm in New York City now. It is April 15th. And it's 70 degrees out now. During the race it was 60, so I was fine with my long sleeve jersey here, which is, it's not a super warm jersey because this is like, I got this a number of years ago on a Rafa sale, and supposedly the sleeves have this, they have these like golf ball kind of shape here to make you more aero. I don't, it's when I've lost weight since I got it, so they are a little like in the elbows they are a little bit there's a little bit extra material in the elbows now because I'm so skinny now. I had put on some sunscreen on my legs, and so like the dirt from the road actually started sticking to my my shins there, and like towards the end of the race, yeah, there was a lot of dirt. I didn't have sunscreen on my face, but when I came back, my face, it looked like, you know, my face was black too from the dirt from the road. And I guess that's just, you know, because I'm riding behind this big pack. And Central Park is not especially clean. Like, yeah, that bit we just passed there, that was horseshit. Like, that's what it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The bottom part of the park is you have horse carriages during the day going through, and they do have like a collection thing behind the horse to take care of their business, to collect their business. But the horse does it always somehow. You know, the horse poops and it gets on the ground, and the carriages, they don't really go back and clean it, so it sucks. I honestly think they should just get rid of the carriages in Central Park, because it's just really gross to have poop on the course like that. Getting rid of horse-drawn carriages was actually something that the former mayor promised. It was one of his campaign promises, Mayor de Blasio, and yeah, he never did it. There's, you know, we have a new mayor, and that never changed. So, yeah, these mayors have all kinds of promises that they can't keep, apparently. So. It is what it is, but yeah, I just don't like to poop. I just don't want to poop anymore. I know there's what kind of system is it? I mean, I guess I'm also a vegan, so like I could argue, you know, I'm a dietary vegan, but I could like go put my ethical hat on and say, well, you're like taking advantage of animals because, you know, like maybe they don't want to pull your thing around. So yeah, that was that crash. I don't know. So that was the YouTuber Claudio Martinez. He crashed in such a way that he was running forward from the crash, and then he runs back. I saw him after the race, and he was fine. His bike was fine. But he said, yeah, I just raced for half an hour because I couldn't get back. I fortunately could get back. I was so far behind here. I was so far behind. I was like, I was like, okay, seeing stars. This is what I'm thinking about. Seeing stars. You know, the pack is all the way. It's like all the way over here. This is like at this point my race is done, you know? At this point it's done, but you know, I put my hands in the drops, you know, get my most aero position here. I have the, you know, I'm spinning a high. I'm taking the best, you know, since I know I'm completely alone on the course now, I'm taking all the choice lines, you know, the best lines around the curves. And yeah, I just keep pushing at it. I'm just in these drops. I'm working hard, and I catch this guy's wheel. It doesn't look like to me that he wants to really work, so I work. I'm just like, I'm working. I don't care. I'm working. Do I drag these guys along? Yeah, they're smart. They're going with me. They're going with me. So this is the motorcycle. This is the, well, this is not the motorcycle. This was actually a camera motorcycle. So I'm like going here. I'm just going huffing, 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 huffing. Let's go, let's go. I can hear my breathing. There we go. Yeah, this guy was like, he was like, nice job. Yeah, at this point I'm back on. At this point I'm back on. And I just said, like in that moment I just said, fuck my life, because it was so hard. And when I got back to this pack, I was so tired. I was like, what did I just do? And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. This is the pack. I made it. Like a lot of people were talking about the crash. Apparently 1/3 of the race was taken out in that crash. So you have various people talking about it, including Claudio. You know, I'm glad he's okay. I did see someone that I recognized in the New York Cycling Club racing team at the back of the ambulance. I hope he's all right. I forgot his name, but I know him very well as someone that I've raced with since I started in Central Park. So I'm just happy that, well, I'm just happy that I was a part of that. I was able to navigate that, but yeah, literally when it happened, I was behind somebody, and I was like, okay, there's a line here. There's a line here around these people, like right here. So just like that, I was like, here's a line, commit, go. and I wasn't in that crash, and literally a guy that was right a few feet from me was in the crash. But like, if you want to be in a bike race and continue riding, in the moment you can't even think about that. I was like, I like, people were commenting on it, and I was just like, I was struggling to get up this hill. I was struggling to get up this hill because I'm tired. I didn't really recover at this point. I was better recovered towards the end of the race, but like, I did like a sort of self check-in, and I was like, I can't do that again. I can't. Like, the best I can hope for at this point is a pack finish. It's not going to be I'm not going to try to make any moves, because I just don't have it in me anymore. Like, at this point, just get up the hill, stay on with everybody. And I was really worried at this point that Now I'm off here. Now I'm off here. It's like, okay, now I got to get in those drops again. Ride as efficiently as possible, you know. Bring my shoulders closer to my handlebars. And I actually looked at my reflection in some buildings when I was riding home today after my race. Yeah, I didn't ride out after this. There's supposed to be like a thunderstorm coming up, and I was like, oh, I don't want to take my chances today. So I chose not to ride today, and I took a nap and focused on the footage. But anyway, yeah, get back on, and I don't have to be in the drops anymore. Which, my bike, I need to like tweak my bike fit or something, because my hips really bothered me after the race. They really did bother me. But I literally had a flat back, you know, from my saddle. So I couldn't have been more aero in that scenario. So yeah, the whole race an hour and 22 minutes, and I'm just rolling along here. And it's like I'm still at the back. Thankfully, there was no more crashes for the rest of the race. It's fine, but it was a whole lot of me like not able to keep pace. And you know, for the guys that there were some people that I was able to bridge up. You know, they followed my wheel and bridged up, which is great. They were able to get a better position in here. So I don't know, might have been a confidence thing after that. But I think it was more like I just did all the work. I didn't care if someone was going to be on my wheel on there. I said I know they're not going to, it doesn't look like they're going to work to get back, and I'm not going to wait around to figure out if they will work. So I'm just like, I'm going to put down the effort and get back to this pack. And, you know, so I dragged them back, and, you know, they were able to get a better position. I pulled them back on, and they were able to, I don't know if they ultimately did well in the race, but I was totally done. I was like, and then I just had these multiple times where, you know, I'm trying to slot in here, but then you know, I'm losing wheels. And I noticed this, and it's like I feel like I'm trying to be aware of this. Okay, it's not my gears. Like, it's not my gears. This bike has a 12 speed. It has, I put a 5440 crankset on it with 1134 gears, and yeah, so there's no way it's the gears. So I just need to spin faster. That's what's going on. So I know I'm not spinning quick here. Whenever I see myself going back, I'm like, it's definitely my cadence. It's definitely my cadence. So I'm just. This guy was commenting, it's so lucky your new bike didn't get caught up in the crash. I was like, sure. I mean, I'm not going to go into detail. Yeah, I have insurance. That's like, you just gotta, I mean, honestly, you know, in general, every time you have a crash, your premium goes up. So, something to keep in mind. It's not a if you tend to crash a lot, just ride a cheaper bike. You know, don't get on a tarmac S-Works, or, you know, another super bike. You know, this bike actually cost me $11K to build, and with full Dura-Ace. And Dura-Ace C60 wheels. So I didn't pay $15,000, it was $11,000, and it actually ended up being less than that because I had a discount with Specialized. that was the amount after the discount. So I had a discount and that. The moto was commenting to us. They were like, he said, "Oh, great job staying in the lines." Great job staying in line. So that was kind of refreshing that he was saying that to us. So yeah, I was just trying to slot in whenever I could to them, but you know, I could have been closer. I mean, for me, my goal for the race, really, I was like, I want to be the person that's like bridging. I wanted to like bridge breaks. You know, I don't ride with a team, but I wanted to screw up. Like that was my goal today. I was like, I want to ride towards the front, and I want to mess up people's brakes. I want to mess them up. You know, I'll let them go a little bit, and then I'll drag the whole pack back. That's the kind of racing I wanted to do. You know, I'm 6'6". I don't have any illusions. I'm, you know, Cat 3. I'm I'm an unattached rider. I don't ride on a team. So the day I win a race will be a day I got really lucky. You know, a lot of things went right, and I happened to be in peak form after having a lot of crappy races like this. Which sorta, like, if I keep going like this, I'm going to have a great season. I'm going to have a great season. Because, like, today's effort was great. It was great. I have like something to write on my Strava, write the descriptions for the Strava. It just tells you your PBs, your power PBs. It said I did my best 1 minute power for 2023, so that's good. I'm really killing this water, but I'm talking a lot too, so gotta stay hydrated. So yeah, not much going on here. Yeah, this guy commented. He said that like his whole team was taken out by that crash. So that's unfortunate. And yeah, so this was another neutralization here because there was the ambulance taking care of somebody that was in the crash. So, you know, they coned off an area, and there's the guy right there in the back of the truck. Not a super great view. I mean, I could have like paused and zoom in, and I don't think you would have had a good view from this. I don't think you would have had a good view. I could see him from my perspective. Of course, I'm a lot taller here, but I'm not gonna mount the camera there. I'm sorry. You know, you see the videos from people that have the cameras on their helmets, on the top of their helmets, and I'm like, you know, thank you for your aero sacrifice. Thank you for your aero sacrifice. I know that's gotta cost something like 30 or 40 watts to put it on your helmet. You know, you're increasing your frontal profile by a lot, like by making yourself taller with a camera on your head. It's like, you know. Thank you for your aero sacrifice. Oh my god, this is like getting lower. Present like that's literally that's more effective than all the upgrades. But the upgrades count for something, you know. They do count. Like those upgrades let me be in a race like this that's going, averaging 26 miles an hour with 1,200 feet of climbing. Very very technical. With a 200-watt average. It's like, oh, I was true, I was sitting mostly on the back, but even with all that, my average wattage was 200 watts. And my FTP is 334. I don't, like, half the time, this is Trainer Road though, and Trainer Road, your FTP doesn't necessarily have to be, for Trainer Road, your FTP is not your best 20-minute power. It's just, they have multiple metrics to measure your FTP, so it doesn't, I don't have to be, that's my FTP as, it's an anchor for my training. So to be honest, like the whole, I'm just surprised. It seems like I need less watts than a lot of people. I see people, I look at people's Strava profiles and they often average 300 watts in the same races that I do, and I'm doing 200 watts. And I don't know, maybe because I adopt various aero positions on the bike. Like this supposedly is the most aero position with the elbows, Sphinx pose on the top of the bars. Maybe just a general awareness of aerodynamics on my part. Getting all these various upgrades. That means I don't need to have 300 watts to sit in a bike race. But yeah, there are plenty of people that like have to train that way because either their bike or their handling skills are not doing them any favors. Because you really do need to have the ability to just how do you go through and pick a choice line here, and then you're like do you know about the position of your thing to start pedaling through the corner while you're turning there? Can you be comfortable pedaling while you're turning? Are you aware how much you're leaning your bike to not clip your pedal when you're doing that? But if you clip your pedal, are you going to fall off, or are you just is it going to just you're going to be like, crap, I put a scratch in my crankset, But yeah, there's a lot of stuff with efficiency, and to be honest, that's I get away with a lot of stuff with efficiency. So every time I'm on the back, I'm like, yeah, you can see the Insta360 in there. Every time I get in the back, I'm always trying to get lower somehow, So here, I'm like, are these guys dropping off? These guys dropping off. This guy must have been in a real hurry to pin his thing on, because it's like he just did a 2-pin per number job, which is fine, I guess. This is actually fine. I thought this was bad, but I saw an 8-year-old video from the Specialized Wind Tunnel that they were comparing the various ways of pinning the numbers, and they said the difference is half a watt for the worst versus the best. And actually, having your number sticking out like this at the back is more aerodynamic because it causes the wind to stay with your body a little longer. So that's the thing about there. So how far? This is the second clip of the race, and it's almost finishing now. And there's like, I think there's just one more clip after this one to go through, and point. This is a very fisheye perspective. Like here's like, oh wow, that's crazy. Can be like, this is like crystal ball. Bend my wheel with the camera. Interesting. I guess the stream is a 1080p stream. I can't actually stream higher than that, so it doesn't really matter. I have a 1080p monitor as well. It's high. It's 240 hertz, so nothing. It's like middle of the line. I did buy Call of Duty. It was on sale. I was like, okay, let me just play some Call of Duty, and it was actually fun. Except someone screamed at me for talking while having the lowest score in the lobby, and I just said, "Have a nice day too, sir." I'm like, he must have thought I was like on a Smurf account or something, because I had like literally a 2 by my name. I had played 2 games of Call of Duty, and he started screaming at me for being bad. And but I still had a lot of fun. What is this? Is the next one. Well, it did capture. I mean, it's pretty cool. It got that my thing is so reflective like this. What kind of arrow profile am I presenting? You know, Zwift really penalizes you for being tall in the game, and they don't allow you to adjust your position to go lower. It's just like, you're basically upright on your bike. Everyone is upright, so therefore, if you're tall, you lose more watts. 100 watts. 100 watts for me. I lose 100 watts. So Zwift is not fun. No, I haven't I haven't played since the Pack Dynamics thing. They were beta testing that when I was subscribed. And I don't know, maybe I'll go back. I'm not sure right now. I mean, like right now, just use trainer roads, and I put my trainer so it's facing out the window now, because and then I can have the fresh air and the fan right sucking the outdoor air in, so I get the best air when I'm training. It's been good. I had a little debris on the camera, so that's what this is. And I believe that was on the short. I'm like, this was the first time I used this camera. I just got out of the box yesterday, and overall I'm satisfied with it. I have to say I'm really satisfied with it. This amount of control with the footage, to be able to get a 360 degree thing, look at the sky and stuff. see a collision happen, an accident happen, and then be like, do like a drive-by view like that. That's really awesome. So definitely like this camera. This to play it, I'm using the Insta360 software. It doesn't appear to be super smooth, but I'm not sure if it's the lack of smoothness in the footage or the fact that I had set the camera to only record 24 frames per second. Yeah, there was a reason why I did that. You know, you can actually record in up to, was it 60 frames? 60 frames or something like that. That's the same with the GoPro. But when you do that, it kind of looks like a soap opera. So your 20 miles per hour footage does not look fast. It looks really slow. It looks so slow. And I'm like, is this like am I like, by playing on like games in like 240 hertz with, you know, high-end hardware, am I making my game slower? Is that what's going on? I mean, yeah, it makes the competitive games easier in a way, especially the ones that have you that are based on you seeing somebody first. And if you could see them like half a second sooner. But like even with the additional refresh, it's not half a second we're talking about. It's like 1/16 of a second that the 240 hertz improves your reaction time to. I think the main advantage of it, and this is something I've noticed for like just working, like I work as a professional coder. I do Salesforce work, so a lot of looking at Salesforce configuration screens and then VS Code, and there's less fatigue with the higher refresh rate displays. Zwift doesn't like higher refresh rate displays. Their game will like literally have everyone pop in and out of existence. So I believe this is the second to last lap. There was a guy that broke away ahead, but I don't think it's, no, this is, I saw, that was definitely a 2 back there. 2 laps to go, 2 laps. So I'm describing the next lap. There's still this lap to go around, which is pretty uneventful. Pretty uneventful. I don't know, I guess I can check out people's bikes. This guy also has S-Works, the rim brake. Yeah, it looks cool. Honestly, 360 cameras. Nice dog. What's he got? Firecat cycling. Oh, it's the S-Works as well. And he's got the wavy rims. I don't think I'm gonna. This is like I can only comment on the people right next to me. This guy felt, yeah, pretty basic bike. He's also sitting in. Yeah, you don't really need a fancy bike to race in general, but you will be working harder on a less expensive bike, which is not a bad thing, especially when you're new, because that will give you a lot of good fitness. And then if you decided to get one of these, hopefully from China, hopefully just get a Chinese one, because the prices of the bikes are outrageous. If you could find something of high quality like a Specialized from China, that would probably be the most ideal solution. This camera's Chinese. This camera's Chinese, and it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. I actually bought a lot of kit from China. I have like these aero suits. I'm not wearing it today, but the main reason was convenience today. I was like, this is I don't really have many short sleeve jerseys. Oh, I have some, but I need to take off the jersey to pin on the number. I am racing tomorrow. That race I have the number for already, so I can wear one of the fancy things I got from China. They're one-piece outfits, so the bib shorts are connected to the jersey, and they have all these funky designs on them. And if you get it from Rafa, it's called an aero suit. It costs like $500 or something ridiculous like that. I got it from AliExpress for like $45 for one. So I was able to I have like a whole collection of them in all different colors now, and they're great. If you wear it a lot, it'll last you. Like it started had one that had holes after a season. Fine, it was $45. I have it's like buying clothes from a drive-by fashion. It's really inexpensive. And it's a full thing. It's the jersey connected to your shorts, with the bibs. So it's like a shirt and shorts out in one. And supposedly that's the most aerodynamic setup. Now for my club races, CRCA club races, I'm actually not allowed to wear that. I have to wear a CRCA jersey. So I have my yellow jerseys for that. I had to order a new one and toss my old one, because the old one literally had a hole right on the back from, I guess, pinning stuff. The holes, I started developing some bad holes. Here was another race we're passing. This appears to be a women's field. Yeah, it's always a toss. Yeah, this guy should not have done that. Going up the hill, the way you do it is always a toss-up for me. Of course, on the trainer, I like to ride out of the saddle, but outdoors, I prefer sitting in, because getting out of the saddle is not very aero. If it was a long climb, I'd probably be out of the saddle. But that's Central Park. There's no long climbs. And I'm not gonna be doing a play-by-play for me riding up 9W. I don't think anyone's gonna be interested in watching me ride my bike very slowly, because I have like a zone 2 mode. I created an activity profile on my bike computer, the 1040, which I did not pay full price for. I had a coupon for, but I got the 1040. I have an activity profile I do zone 2 based on how Garmin does zone 2. So what is they give you zone credits. They have 3 training zones: low aerobic, high aerobic, and anaerobic. So the low aerobic zone is basically zone 2 heart rate to zone 3 heart rate. As long as you're not, like, you could be in zone 3, top of zone 3 could be a tempo ride. So there's like a sweet spot with a couple beats under the top of tempo to get that low aerobic credits. But if you spend too much time at the bottom of zone 2 heart rate, and it gives you recovery credit, which is, it's just peanuts. There's like barely any points for the duration. So I have an alarm to keep me in. It's just a heart rate alarm. Garmin works best with max heart rate. So my max heart rate is 186 right now. So and it should be lower based on my age, but it's 186. Garmin says it's 186. Okay, fine. So 186. So with that, my zone 2 training zone, like the zone 2 is like between 111 and 140, 147-ish, something like that. So I have the thing beeping whenever it goes under or over. So. And that was not the beeping just now was not the is not that alarm. I have for racing. I have a race profile that has most of the alerts off, but there is one alert that, with the Di2, I can have it. I guess this guy had a mechanical. There is a thing with the Di2. You can, if you're like out of gears, it'll just beep on the computer, which is helpful. So I just have a tendency to, I have a tendency to have a lower cadence. I have no problem using a higher cadence, and I've trained at all sorts of cadences, but I just feel really comfortable at a low cadence. This is where I recover best. I like pedaling slow, 75 RPM. That was my average for the race. But of course, if I need to put in an effort, 90, 100 RPM, no problem. On the trainer indoors, I've been able to complete intervals with 40 RPM and 130 RPM. So I have a range of what I do, but I have a tendency to spin slowly. So that thing just that beep just tells me, just spin your legs faster. You're out of gears. Spin your legs faster. 5411. You don't need any more gears. And I'm definitely not spinning it out. This is like, well, now I'm lower. Avoiding the crap and pointing it out for anyone that's behind me. And this is the penultimate lap. Penultimate lap. Probably super boring. I'm not even going to pretend. I'm not even going to pretend this is not boring. Does this guy drop off? Yeah. Got another drop off. Well, because I don't try to win this race. reason I don't try is because I'm tired. I'm tired. But I'm gonna have a great season. This is fine. This is month 2 of the season. It's finally the weather's it's finally spring. The weather seems to be all over the place, which is how spring works. Yeah, it's just it's good. I'm racing tomorrow, so it's perfectly fine that I didn't go out and see if I could catch the thunderstorm on 9W. There's always the opportunity to do that tomorrow. There's no. If it was just rain, I would have just went out, but it's not just rain. So this bike actually might end up in the shop. Because of the brakes. I have to get the brakes blood for $60 or something like that. Or $70. I don't know how much they charge now, but it's pretty expensive. And it's like you have disc brakes and you just have to pay that every time. Well, I just have to learn. I have to like service it myself and just figure it out. But I'm not doing it when my other bike's in the shop because I don't want to leave myself without a backup. I want to have a bike ready to go. So yeah, this was the thing where I saw the brake. It was just a single guy brake, and it didn't appear. I don't think he got away. No, he actually did get away. I saw that one rider in the last lap. He was so far away from everybody. It was so far away from everyone. And it was like, okay, this guy, I know what position this guy is going to be standing on the podium afterwards. I didn't stick around to see the podiums because I just didn't want to. Like, I just wanted to go home and sleep. I did talk to some folks and then I just was on my way. It does it. I saw the forecast. I'm like, I can do some indoor training if I really want to. But I mean, I'm racing tomorrow, and today was especially hard. Trainer Road has me doing another. Opener activities. It's called like Laurel or something like that. I'm glad I did that yesterday. I did it yesterday, and then I did like endurance thing yesterday. I did those two. I have to say the opener workouts, the 5-minute effort in the opener workout was very similar to that bridging effort that I did to after I navigate around that crash half an hour in. But by this time I was like checking in with myself. Okay, this is it penultimate or ultimate? I don't know. It's toward the end. But I completely lost my train of thought. Okay, well, I was talking for a bit and going on and on. here I'm kind of not in a great spot. But it's okay. Like, once I'm here, this is fine. If the field was narrower, this would not be a good spot, but because this field is so wide, it's a great spot. And I don't know, I don't know if this is like a team tactic or something to spread out the field like that, but it has the effect of, you know, people like me being able to stay on easier. Like, if this was a narrow field, I would definitely would have been off the back. Definitely would have been off the back. There's no way I would have been able to catch on. But the fact that I could get into the center and have that most optimal thing there. Are completely brown from the dirt sticking to the sunscreen. And I'm like trying to be aware, like, are these riders here, are they dropping off? But I'm not, like, at this point, I'm not really looking around to see what they're doing. I'm just thinking about, okay, where am I relative to the rest of the pack? You know, what these other guys are doing, it's kind of immaterial to me. You know, as long as they're not, like, weaving the roads and then opening up, leaving open gaps. That kind of sucks. But here I have to kind of just work on it. I just have to, like, deal with this. And this guy was closing that up. This guy was doing a sag climb. And yeah, just had to get arrow again. Because I'm nowhere near where I need to be, and yeah, this was just not recovering. That big effort, you know, and then all these. I should have been closer to people, and just not been doing these bits where I'm always. Off here. But I'm not off the back here. I'm not off the back. Like I said, I pack finished this race. But I definitely did work really, really hard this race. I believe this is the last lap. This is why there are so many people, like, falling back. But there's people riding on my wheel, and, like, they know what's up. But yeah, this is yet another bridge effort. Yet another one. I'm tired. I'm doing another bridge effort. I'm like, I get ahead of this group. I pull them for. I just pull them. I just, like, pull it like it's a tug of war or something. And I'm just I'm just giving it all I got. I'm giving it all my got. Just like, okay, let's just push. Let's just go. I'm not bothering to flick my elbow or anything. You know, I know that whenever I slow down, you know, someone's gonna pass me. So yeah, this guy does his effort to get on. You know, the other ones, they do the same. And I'm like, okay, that little bit of recovery I took, you know, I just need to start spinning my legs faster. Like I noticed the moto, he's like writing me off. I'm like, fuck my life. But I don't fall off the back. I'm like, I have to work this. I'm like, this is not the end. This is not the end. The whole race is like this. The whole race. This is the whole race for me, because I was not well positioned in the race, and that's just gonna have to be something. Like I'm hoping that the next time I'm doing a race review footage, hopefully maybe tomorrow, that I just have better positioning for the whole race, and I'm not doing these efforts, these massive time trial efforts to get back in groups. You know, like I get back on here and then I'm like slowing down, or I let off the gas, but I think I was just tired. Oh, and we got the final bit here. So this is definitely the last lap, because this is very short. I'm out of water, so I'm parched from talking this whole time, and yeah. So but this is the last lap, and I did all these efforts that I could have avoided if I just slotted in more, but I was just unconfident because of the crashes I witnessed, especially the one that just happened in front of me. But I should really just let that go. Should let that go. And it has nothing to do with having a new bike. The bike is insured. I'm not looking to abuse my insurance, of course. You know, I try to drive my bike defensively, but at the same token, it's not going to be a huge loss if I crash out of the race and have a lot of damages. But I was like thinking to myself right after this race, I was like, you know what? It probably is the bike. It probably is the bike. So my LA Sprint with Ultegra Di2 11-speed disc is 2 pounds heavier than this bike. It has very similar wheels. You know, I have the Dura-Race C60 wheels here, and those are 12-speed only wheels. And then I have the Roval Rapide CLX2 wheels on the LA Sprint, so they're also high-end wheels. I got them on sale, and they're pretty much very similar. But yeah, just this is like I'm doing this over and over and over. It's like if I had just been a little closer here, and this is the last lap. I'm making all these positional errors all the time, one after the other. But it appears that it's not just me. Like, these are people that were in good position and they let it go. They let it go. But at this point, you could say it's a pack finish. You could say it's a pack finish at this point, even if you drop off, even if you just say like there's no reason to work anymore at this point, because the finish line is like over here. So that is, and a lot of people were slowing down at the finish line, but I just decided to keep working. Yeah, the moto passed me again, and then I passed the moto because I stopped. I just said, you know, I don't care. I'm just gonna work until the end. I don't care. I'm just gonna work till the end. So that's what I do. This is, you know, there's nothing fancy for passing these guys, but yeah, I even passed this guy right here at the end. I'm like, and reset my Garmin. And that's the race. I hope you enjoyed my my commentary. I guess yeah, we could have bonus footage here. I need to learn how to do that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna end the stream now here, guys. So if you stuck along for the ride, thanks for being with me today, and have a great rest of your weekend, or if you're viewing it later, rest of your day.